Is that recording now?
Yeah, it gave me a warning.
Hey guys, ZedTV here. Welcome back to another video. This happens to be all the time.
Honestly, same.
Continuing this little series I'm doing where I'm sat representing something and I bring someone else on. You can see today that I'm not actually sitting with someone right next to me. I'm actually in a Zoom call over in where are you right now?
I'm up in Blackpool,
Oh wow, so that is quite
so
far from Penryn,
far north.
where I am. I thought the next video in the series I could do is a current student at university, which I will be representing, and Luke here, who will be representing the graduates. We're looking at various different topics. So we'll start off with an introduction, a journey as of how our life's gone to the current point we are now, current situation on looking at jobs. We'll compare both our experiences on what we've learned from university. Luke, I assume you were at university throughout COVID, so I'd imagine
Hmm.
your university experience, there might be some similarities and differences to how I've experienced university so far. The whole idea of if university is worth it, go on to future prospects and finish off with an outro. If that sounds good. I'll start off with an introduction. I'm a current undergraduate student studying evolutionary biology at Penryn campus. So this campus we share between University of Exeter and University of Falmouth. Luke, I believe you're a Falmouth University graduate, aren't you? Um,
Yeah.
if you want a complete introduction on me, I mention everything in my first video, which I will leave a link below. So if you want to know more about me, feel free to check that out. Luke, would you like to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Luke, and I am a graduate from Falmouth University. I studied film. I was there between the years of 2018 to 2021. That was my stint. I was sort of hit by COVID, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. Graduated for nearly 2 years now.
Luke, you were at university from, you just said 2018 to 2021. I've started university in 2022 and now going onwards. So it's quite nice to have a good comparison between those years. We'll start off with a journey. Do you want to start off like talking about how you got into university? Start was throughout the 3 years, including COVID, and I imagine you had a bunch of things going online, things being cancelled, postponed.
Before I moved to university, I did A levels at sixth form. I didn't know if I wanted to go to university. Like, it's just the thing you do. Like, you go to sixth form or college, and then you go to university. Didn't know if it was right for me. She looked at doing like volunteering in like Africa or something. I honestly had no idea what to do with
Wow.
my life. I just wanted to do
I
something fun.
feel like a lot
Yeah.
of sick formers are in that stage. Like I was
Yeah.
like that. University was, if you don't have a plan, usually teachers would push you towards
Hmm.
university. Like they'll really encourage you to go to university slowly every year. Like there's more people going to university, and it is quite encouraged in schools.
I was like gently pushed by my teachers to go to university. Yeah, and I'm glad they did. I'm really glad they did. I applied to Falmouth, Bournemouth. I can't remember what the third one was. I was really bad with my entire application process. So if anyone is going to take anything from this video, don't apply to university like I did. I essentially just typed in film course university on Google. Falmouth, first one there. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I clicked on it and I kind of just applied, and that was it. Bournemouth, I didn't meet the requirements, and so, oh no, it was Southampton. Southampton was the third one. I didn't reach the requirements for either the other two. I'd been to a Falmouth open day to like meet the lecturers and see the campus. I loved it. It was an amazing campus.
Was that a Penryn
It,
campus you came to for an
yeah,
open day?
Penryn
I
campus.
see.
Yeah.
I've been helping out with a few of the open days here. So I'm a
Hmm.
Exeter University ambassador, and yeah, I'd say a lot of the students they like coming to an open day is a huge determinant if they are going to come to that university in the end. University of Exeter, their main campus is Streatham campus in
Okay.
actual Exeter.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I went there, and initially I really didn't like it for various reasons. Well, firstly, because there was a lot of hills, and it is still quite hilly down here, and I've
Yeah.
sort of got used to it. And also felt like I didn't really fit in because I didn't really see that many people from like ethnic minority backgrounds. But in the end, I thought it was a risk, and I'm quite happy I went with it because I've just had such a positive experience so far down in Penryn campus.
Perrin campus is like it's such a lovely campus. I stayed on the campus for my first year accommodation, and that it was just such a like needed part of like my university journey. Just like being there, like in that community. Obviously, it's easy to get to lectures. You can just wake up and go. at least when they were in person. I knew from the second I got to the campus that I wanted to be there. Met the requirements, got in. I did, however, take a gap year before I started. But when I started, I was 19. And so I, I thought I'd be so much older than everyone else. I was like, no, they're all going to be 18. What am I going to do? It turns out it didn't matter. Most people were actually 18, 19. Some people were like 24. Age really doesn't matter at university.
I've come straight out of A levels, straight into university. I thought there would be like everyone would be 18-year-olds. But you know what? Well, everyone looks like they're the same age. Everyone looks like they're in the same year group. I've only just found out one of my closest friends that I've had for 5 months is actually a third year. I always assumed he was a first year. So I can't actually tell like what year group and what age everyone is unless you actually ask, how old are you, what year are you? Yeah, I wouldn't say it's something that people should really worry about, because university it comes under higher education. Everyone's just going to be above 18.
You fit in with just like the people around you, and you don't even think to like ask, or it doesn't matter. With Penryn campus as well, you're sort of grouped because, as you said, like it's shared between Exeter and Falmouth University. I met people from both. I don't know if it's the same now, but you could also share your accommodation with Exeter and Falmouth.
Yeah.
It's mixed, and so that's really nice.
So in my flat right now, there is 4 Falmouth students and 4 Exeter students, and we're always like working together. And the kitchen is just a great social space. Like I'm so close to my flatmates right now that I'm moving in with them next year. Sometimes they ask me, could I quickly pop on this piece of clothing, or could you quickly take part in my short film or this quick photo shoot? Because obviously you guys do the more creative subjects. Yeah, we're always willing to like help each other out, studying together, doing assignments together, even though we're doing quite different courses. Quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, so much going on. It's such a diverse place. This is one of my biggest worries before I moved, was making friends. I didn't know if I would get on with anyone. Although I studied film, I'd never done media before or anything like it. So I thought, I'm going to join and everyone's going to be, like a film nerd, and I'm just going to be there like, university as a whole. There's just so many different people. You meet people from all over the world. Like I've got friends who are like Hong Kong and like Lithuania, and that's so cool.
I've made friends with quite a lot of Indian international students. Just hearing their perspective, the journey they've had in their lives, you get such a wide range of backgrounds, and it's quite nice to see everyone celebrating those differences. And I mean, I'm general secretary of our Asian society here, also running for next year president, so fingers crossed I might get that. I've really enjoyed learning about different cultures around celebrating people's different events and celebrations, just being thankful for the experiences. You've had 3 years of university, is it?
Yeah.
Throughout the 3 years, has your friend group, has it like changed, or has it maintained? Like the people you meet in first year, do they stay with you throughout 3 years, or something like subjective?
Friends that I had throughout the 3 years were more or less the same throughout it. I think at different points you sort of get closer to different people. You bond with them, you stop talking as much, but you're still really close with them. I think you just kind of just see so many different people. I think you become really good friends with your course mates, or you become really good friends with your flatmates. That seems to be the way that a lot of people that I knew went. I didn't end up bonding with my flatmates that well. I think I've spoken about it in a few of my personal YouTube videos that we didn't get on. It's inevitable that you're going to meet some people that you don't really like. We still were like respectful to each other. We still like chatted, but we just weren't friends. And I just got really close with my course mates instead. One of the guys on my course, I lived with him in second year and in third year, sort of kept that consistent. But we were quite a small group of friends. There was like 7 of us. There'd be people dipping in and out all the time.
Especially with my current friends who are in third year and masters, they're going to be gone. To next year's freshers, there's going to be new people, different personalities. You may end up being really close friends with. I didn't expect I was going to get that close to the second years, the third years, the master students. Some of my closest friends here are, I'd say the majority are first year, like the same year group, but I do have some really close friends in the years above me. In school, like let's say I was in year 10, I don't really consider like the year 12s or the year 13s that close to me. Coming to university has completely changed that.
When you're in school, like if you're like a year above or whatever, you're seen as like an adult. You're so old. And at uni, you're just sort of all together. It's weird.
So weird. I like that, to be honest. Because you had COVID. Do you think that made university harder for you than it is for us right now. Online lectures, like I had online lessons for sixth form when I was doing my A levels. I could literally just wake up in my bed, join the Zoom call, and sleep while I had the lesson going on right next to me. Um, doing online lectures and things being cancelled and being postponed. Do you think that was good at all, or was it all bad and miserable? Like, you know.
COVID hit when I was halfway through my second year on the film course. It's kind of like coursework, and then you've got to like make a film. You're assessed on that, and you're assessed on writing something. All of the film productions like got shut down. No one could make anything. You could still do your written assessments fine because you can just do that at home. I know for a lot of people on my course and a lot of like the photography students, they were really heavily affected because you can't book out a studio, you can't get your models, and moving to online lectures was very bizarre. We all had to like download Zoom, and we were like, what is this? It was weird.
Like that at first, yeah.
We adapted to it. I mean, we didn't really have a lot of choice, kind of had to. But looking back at it now, quite sad because we didn't realize that our last in-person lecture was going to be our last one. At some point, we would have just had a lecture and that was it. We never had an in-person one again. The in-person lectures are like a big part of university. You want to go sit in that room with your lecturer and all the people on your course, and it's just part of the experience. What's it like now with you?
At the moment, I feel like when I heard all the stories of how university will be as I was growing up, being in a massive lecture hall and there being loads of different people doing their own things, their own sports, they're doing their own socials, it has lived up to that. So I'd say it has gone back to that sense of normality that we thought we were going to be in. It's as if COVID never happened. I don't know how your 2018 experience maybe and how your first year probably was. I think it's gone right back to that. COVID, it's not even mentioned anymore. Online lectures, I had like one this term because a lecturer was in another country. Except from that, everything's in person again. Labs, practicals, field work. The only time field work is rescheduled is when there's like a bus strike going on, or like there's not enough bus drivers, but there's no more, oh, there's this virus going around and we need to limit human contact. That's no longer a thing. We've lived through COVID. We're just continuing life as normal again.
Yeah, it feels like
still
it's
early
just
days. You never
gone.
know what might happen in the coming 2 years. I don't want to jinx that.
No.
We move over to the next section now, like our current situations, how we're looking at the job market. In school, they always tell us about find your interest. My school invested so much into career support. They'd always have these companies coming in, careers services, careers advisors. People are always changing. I still don't know what I want to do. I've had a various number of fields I wanted to go into, and it's always changing. I've come to university. I've picked my subject based on what I'm interested in. So studying evolutionary biology. Evolution, my favorite topic within biology, so let's specialize more into that. Now, as I'm doing that, I've realized, you know what, humans as an entire concept is so interesting, so I've now requested to transfer onto human sciences from second year, and it's been approved. Module choice for next year is based on that. Like,
that's really cool.
The job market, I mean, the skills and careers module I do right now want us to be looking at the job market, and they want us to do a graduate prospects report. So they still encourage looking out for jobs. And what I'm hearing, like, generally as my cohort in first year, no one's really that worried about jobs. I've heard like third years, master students, when you really knuckle down on your LinkedIn, knuckle down on saving these job alerts, people frantically applying to so many different places. As a summary, it's not really a massive concern for me at the moment. How was it for you, your third year and now as a graduate?
I agree. Like in my first year, wasn't something I was worried about. What's weird about university is it's going to end at some point, but you don't worry about the end really until you're like there. My third year, lots of people I knew started applying to so many different jobs in the film industry. At Falmouth, they have so many connections, these big production companies. You can go through them and try and like get editing jobs or like camera jobs or whatever it is you're interested in. By the time I reached my third year, I didn't want to work in film, at least not like straight away. I wanted to maybe do other things. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to go, like geographically. I could move back in with my parents, but I didn't really want to do that. I liked being independent. Instead, I moved up north with my girlfriend. That's why I'm in Blackpool now. My first job since graduating was like working in a bar. I just needed something to do. Then I became a content writer. So I was writing like blog articles and learning about SEO. I got that pretty quick, and because of my degree. Although my degree was in film, specialized in screenwriting, I'd done script writing and stuff like that before, and so that kind of got me the job. But I now work in marketing, so I do like social media just because it's like my passion, and I've been doing it just myself for quite a few years now. I tell people that I work in marketing and they're like, but you've got a film degree, like what was it? Surely that's a waste of time. But like, I think any degree is like applicable to most jobs.
I think
mean,
it's
I
the
don't know what you
soft
think.
skills. In my previous video, I got out Mike. He's a current master's student in mining. His degree's in politics. He's not looking to go into the politics field anymore, but he kept expressing the fact that he's learned so much soft skills. And even me, I'm still in my early days. I mean, we're coming to the end of first year, so I need to stop using that phrase. I've noticed how much soft skills I've learned, being independent. That's been a massive thing in me. I assume now you've graduated, that sense of independence, that's stuck with you. I'm sure you're quite thankful you've come to university, that you've learned
Yeah.
to live by yourself.
I'm glad I went to uni for like just for so many reasons. More confident, I know more people. You learn so much just outside of the degree.
At face value, loads of people assume, okay, if you do a degree in STEM, you are going to go STEM. If you do a degree in the creative industry, you're going to go creative industry. The number of soft skills that you learn under that degree is insane, and it can be applied to anything you want. I think you can always just end up wherever. Like I'm sure when you're at university, you never thought you'd end up where you are now. Like yeah,
Not at all.
I never even knew I was going to end up doing an evolutionary biology degree. A couple of years ago, I did a year 10 work placement in architecture, and I was sure I was going to get into the architecture field. Slowly, I learned graphics and art. It maybe isn't my thing. I'm more of a STEM person, definitely more of a
Yeah,
biology person.
that's like the good part of like our generation. We're so privileged that we can afford to like kind of just hop around. Back in the day, it would be like you have one job for your life and that's it. You have to stick at it.
Yeah,
You can't change, you can't quit. Now, if you have the motivation and the courage to apply to something, you might get it. You don't know.
exactly. That's well said. What we've learned from uni so far, I mean, I've just mentioned this before, but as a first year, oh, what's this? Oh,
We
are we
might have
using
to
the?
like end this call and then start a new one if you want to keep going,
Okay, do you want to do
maybe.
that now before we move on to the next
Yeah.
section?
If it doesn't work and we need to like do this again, we can do it again another day or something. I don't
I'll
mind.
try my best not to mess this up. But cheers, Luke. What we've learned from uni so far, I've learned so much. My first month, it's insane how much independence I've had to learn. Just, pushing myself outside my comfort zone. And imagine all the soft skills just coming out of independence and having to do everything myself. That reliance on your parents and your older siblings, that isn't there anymore. Yeah, with independence, you do have like support out there if you need. So it's quite a nice way to get pushed into that with like academic stuff as well, like scientific reports. I remember I've looked at a few in sixth form. I was like, what the hell is this? How does this work? What is any of this going on? And I've been slowly being put into that, which has been so interesting. How referencing and citing works. What those people who are doing world research, how it works for them. My subject. I'm learning about the most up to date, newest things, and teaching you this is what's going on right now, and you may be involved in the future of it. And it's just really exciting to hear all of these things going on. I've learned a lot from university, and I'm only in first year, so I'd be quite interested to hear the sort of stuff you've learned throughout your time and now as a graduate as well.
You learn, yeah, so many, like as you say, like these soft skills that you don't think are important. You think that like getting the degree, getting the piece of paper is the most important thing. But project management, set your own deadlines, A and B gets done and ticked off. Yeah, independence, managing your budget with like your student loan. You buy your own food and you cook your own food, and like that seems little, but that's a huge part of just becoming like an adult. Just figure things out, having fun, like letting yourself find out about who you are, exploring different things and meeting different people. When I tell people like the thing that I value most about university and what I've learned the most, the people I've met, because I grew up in quite a small town. Like there wasn't a lot of people there. Just get to know everyone in a small town. When I moved to uni, as I said earlier, just so many different people. It just gives you a better understanding of the world. It just makes you a better person, really, when you just meet different cultures. I've had so many great talks with people about their experiences. I've met people who grew up in India, people who were like on the LGBTQ community, so many interesting people to listen
I
to.
definitely agree with you there. How would you say learning new skills and implementing those new skills, how does that develop as you go through second and third year? That the workload increases as you graduate as well. How does it change?
As you like go into second year and third year, you're definitely expected to become more independent with the academic side of it. As you move towards third year, you start thinking about your dissertation, planning that out. Depending on how long it is, mine was only, I think, 6,000 words. So not the longest. Like, I know people who wrote like 10,000 words, 15,000. You have to plan that entire thing yourself. Obviously, you're
I
getting help
see.
from the tutors, like learning time management, going to the library, getting books and doing your research and structuring it. From my course in particular with film, as you progress through second year and third year, you get trusted with more equipment. The cameras that you get to use and the lighting, things that you're using are the same that it's like in the industry. You're learning about everything that's happening in the world that's relevant to your degree, learning what the people in the real world are doing. You're sort of given this like step up. So when you graduate, if I went straight into the film industry, I wouldn't be alienated because I've already used all the like editing equipment and I've used the cameras the professionals are using. That's a credit to Falmouth and Exeter.
Reflecting on everything we've said, I want to go to the question of was it worth it? It's a huge investment. By the time you get to third year, how much money has been used, and not even just money, but like time and energy, those late night sessions, cramming in information, the stress of preparing for an exam. For international students, obviously, they pay like triple the amount that a UK student has to pay per year. With all the negative things that people perhaps associate with university, would you say that it's been worth it? For me, at the moment, even though it is a huge investment in so many different angles, as I was just saying, it has been one of the best choices of my life so far. I've never felt so free to explore what I want to do. A lot of restrictions that are played down, and then you also have support there. I think it's an opportunity that even when I graduate, I'm really going to be thankful for it. But then again, I'm also thinking 3 years' time, being completely honest, there's always the possibility of things not going well, that something bad could pop up. That's just the nature of life. And perhaps it wasn't worth it. So how is it from your end? Sort of, was it worth it in the end?
I completely agree with you. Like, yeah, you invest so much time and money into it, but it is a big commitment. You don't want to come out the other end of it and think, well, that was a waste. But no, absolutely. For
Yeah.
me, I'm so glad I went. Even if I never work in the film industry, my degree isn't wasted. Years that I spent there, I spent making not just friends, but like professional connections as well. As I keep saying, you meet so many people. I know a lot of people are afraid about, UK students are afraid about paying back their student loan. I'm not currently earning enough to pay back my loan yet, so I'm okay there. When I do pass that threshold, it's like 25,000 a year. It's such
It
a small,
changes
it's
every
such a
year,
small
doesn't it?
amount.
That is
Yeah,
different.
end up paying back such a small amount of your student loan. I don't think it's enough to stop you from going. It's still an amazing time. You'll learn so much, not just about like your
Yeah.
degree, but about yourself.
In terms of paying back your student loan, that's something that a lot of students were thinking. Before applying to university, I was actually debating if I wanted to go university at all or not. Getting that student loan, scary thought of it always being cut from your paycheck. But as you were saying, there are loads of guidelines out there. Firstly, you've got to be earning above a certain threshold. And then secondly, after a certain amount of years, I think like 30 or 40 years, it does get waived in the end. Even if it is getting cut from your paycheck, it does tend to be quite a relatively small amount where it ends up being almost negligible. Guidelines, student loans is always changing, you know, how the laws are always changing.
There's always like financial help
Yeah,
at the university and after you graduate. You're never truly alone.
exactly. Future prospects now. What are you planning to do? How do you want the future of your life to go? The future is so hard to predict. I can almost be certain that like me, you, everyone watching, you'll be in a position in like 5 years' time you never would have thought you'd be in. It is quite scary, but also exciting how that whole thing works. You can never be 100% sure. Like, who saw COVID coming? Who saw that big of an
Yeah.
influence on one virus? You know, a lot of people in STEM, they do end up doing a master's or a PhD, staying within academics, go on to be teachers, being completely different, using the soft skills. I've said this in previous videos, but I've got zero clue where I want to go with this. First year is all about learning a new environment, developing those soft skills in the first early stages, accepting new opportunities and seeing how it goes really. But as second and third year comes, I will put a bit more thought into it. At the early days, I'm not really that stressed, seeing how things go. How is it from your end?
If anyone is watching, they are concerned about future after university. I was probably one of the least prepared people at university. As I said in the beginning of the video, my application process was not like normal. Like I just applied to whatever. I have turned out okay, is what I'm trying to say. I've graduated. I'm in a job that I never thought I'd be doing. Sure, I really love it. If you can just embrace random things happening, then you're going to be okay. My life going forward, I'd love to maybe do a master's at some point. I still love education.
I do hear a lot of people after third year, they take like a gap year, or they do spend some time industry or higher education. You can never be too old to come back to education, is what I keep hearing. It is an option, even if you don't go straight into a undergraduate degree. Even after one gap year, two gap years, have you want higher education is always open.
It's always there for you. I don't know what I'll do that master's in. It might be in marketing, it might be in like creative writing, because I write books. Ultimately, I don't know. If I were to sum it up in a nice little sentence, I'd just say something super cliche. If you can just find what you're happy with, just like pursue that. One day you wake up and you say, you know what, I'm not happy with this anymore, then that's okay. You can make your own future.
We're coming to the end of the video now. In this video, we've covered topics like an introduction, the journey we've both had, what we've learned from university, was it worth it, and future prospects. Luke, firstly, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute privilege to talk to someone like you.
I've loved it.
I thank you for your time, honestly.
I love your videos.
I know you're a busy person. At the times we had to reschedule. Now take this opportunity, if you're working on something right now, to promote your social media. If anyone has any questions for you, where should they go?
I do run my own YouTube channel. It's under the name of Luke Morgan. I'll probably leave a comment on this video.
Link in the description as well.
To all your video. Oh, amazing. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I love your videos. I love seeing the campus still. It looks awesome. Honestly, I think just, keep doing what you're doing. If you're worried about like future, I sound like such an old man. Oh my God. Thank you for letting me be here. My Instagram and my TikTok, they're all under the name of Luke Morgan.
I'll leave links below and a screenshot if it helps.
If you want me on a platform, I'm probably on it.
This is now the third video of the series. I do have a few more prepared with some other people. Those will be coming out soon. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. If you got any video ideas or any feedback or any questions for any of us, we will get back to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.